Hi, welcome to my very dirty vanity. I like to keep it at this size. Like, the way I see it, it's like if it can't fit on my dresser as like a vanity, then like I don't need it. I don't need it, you know? Like, because the more storage you have, the more pressure there is almost to fill it. So that's why I got rid of my Alex drawers. That's why I got rid of some of my totes. If it can't fit in the tote for my kit, and if it can't fit on my dresser vanity designated area, then I don't need it. Or I need to like clear out things that I don't use. So that's what we're gonna do today. It's springtime, it's cooler, and I'm not sweating profusely. So I deemed it a good cleaning day. And so we're just gonna do a little organization and maybe a mini declutter, because there are some things on the chopping block that I definitely just want to just not look at anymore. So let's just get to it. I think how I'm just gonna start, there's not gonna be any rhyme or reason to this, I'm gonna be completely honest. So I'm just gonna like organize whatever is here, and then we'll get to the collection. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of go this way now that I think about it. So I'm gonna talk about this first. It's not an Aveda powder, it's an old Aveda powder container, and I emptied it because I don't like the Aveda powder. And inside, oh my god, this is so gross. I don't know how I still have this. So inside is a little Frankenstein monster I have made. It's the RCMA colorless powder, and also the Kat Von D peach under eye powder. And it's a very nice setting powder, but when I think about how old it is, she's gotta go. Just throw it away. Throw it away, Kay. That's the motto of the video. Throw it away, Kay. I want you to take a look at all of the sunscreens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sunscreens just taking up room. And like, you know what's annoying about these? Look, they just fall. They just fall and they make a mess. And they just need to go into my bathroom and out of my way because I'm clumsy enough. And, you know, it's like one of those things. Like they just need to go to the bathroom. Just go to the bathroom. This is empty, so I have no idea why it's still on my vanity. Like, this isn't empty. Like, look at it. There's nothing else in here. Why is it taking up space in my life? This little mini size of the Ultra Repair Cream. I love to travel with this, and I also like to have it if I just don't feel like going to the bathroom to moisturize my face, so I like to keep this on my vanity. And yeah, that's where it's gonna stay. I got the NYX Dewy Finish setting spray. You know, it's fine. It's nothing really to like write home about, but I'm just gonna set it here with my Josie Marin and my Ultra Repair Cream. And that's all that's gonna stay right here. Right there. So my brushes have a wash day coming up. I might do it later today or might do it sometime during the week. So I'm just gonna leave those alone. So something that's kind of on the chopping block is this Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. No matter what I do, this looks kind of dry on me throughout the day. Which is strange because it's supposed to be a moisturizer, and so many people love this product, and I don't really get it. And also there's not really a great shade for me. I have the shade 1W1 Porcelain, which when I'm at my palest, it pulls kind of like it's light enough, but the undertone is kind of off. So there's no like neutral shade for me to wear, and nothing that has any sort of green in it. So it's kind of hard to match this to me. Keep giving this a couple of more chances, but if I don't like it in like the next 2 or 3 times that I use it, I'm gonna send it to my sister. So my Rose Inc Skin Enhanced Luminous Tinted Serum, I unfortunately can't use this right now because it's too light for me. The shade, I think I use shade 330, whatever. Even when I'm at my palest, it is, you know, pretty light for me. But right now, and I'm just gonna keep getting tanner, like this is too light for me, so I'm gonna have to get my Drunk Elephant DeBronzy drops and mix in with it when I want to use this, because this is definitely a product that I need to use up soon, because it is like a, you know, a clean beauty brand, and so it might expire on me, and it's pretty expensive, so I just I don't want it to expire, and I want to use it up and get my money's worth. Another thing that I am keeping and I love, and I have lots of backups of in different shades so I can wear it whenever I want, is the NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer. I love this so much. This is one of my favorite complexion products, or all over the face complexion products. I just love it, and I talk about it all the time, so I'm not gonna just like talk your ear off with that. Something I'm throwing away because it's practically empty and it is most likely just expired. Like, this is, yeah, it's starting to look kind of strange in there, and it doesn't smell bad. It just, you know, I've just had it for a while, and the last few times that I used it before it became too light for my skin, it did kind of break apart on my chin and nose when it usually sits very beautifully on it. So I am going to get rid of my Ilia Super Skin, or my Super Serum Skin Tint, finally, because it's practically empty, and so I definitely got my money's worth out of that. And another thing that I'm going to be tossing, because look at this fucking science experiment. Even when I shake it up, like, it starts to separate again, which this is a product that just doesn't do that. And this is the Glossier Skin Tint. This is basically the item that got me into skin tints and like tinted moisturizers and stuff like that. And you know, it's a nice product, but I don't really deem it worth it at this point for me, because I just think that there are other things out there that are like way better. The thing I am not getting rid of is the Herborian CC Red Correct, by the way. You already know I love this. I think that this is an amazing, cosmetically elegant product. Herborian is an amazing Korean skincare brand, slash they have some makeup too. And this is just, if you struggle with redness and or you can't find complexion products that match you because you are a light fair olive, this would be your best friend. And I highly recommend it. So definitely keeping that. Okay, so the rest of this is brows. I also have this like lip sunscreen by Supergoop. That's definitely staying. And my old Aveda Kabuki brush that I absolutely love and adore, and I've been using it for years, and it desperately needs clean, so that's going to be on the cleaning list as well. The e.l.f. Brow Lift. This is very loved, and you can see I've made quite the dent in this. This is a very loved product in my collection. So yeah, that is going to be going back on the shelf. This I barely touch because I just don't really do this look with my brows anymore. And this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder Duo. I use the shade Medium Brown. And I also use this on like clients and stuff a lot when I, you know, happen to do makeup anymore. Because I do feel like this is like, it's kind of cool tone leading, but it's also a shade that like a lot of people can use. On camera here, it's looking really gray, but in person, it's a lot more like cool neutral. But I think it looks really good on blondes, and it also looks really good on brunettes, or even people who have like almost black facial hair. Anyways, so I really love this, but I don't really use it on myself anymore, so I'm gonna put this back into my kit, but not throw it away, because it is an actual like great brow powder. This mini brow definer, I wear this in the shade Soft Brown. I love this little mini guy. It's super handy, super easy for travel. I also have this little mini Benefit Fluff Up Brow Wax. This product's pretty mid, but it's nice for those no makeup kind of days, and I'll definitely use it up. But it's really nothing to write home about. I do prefer the Benefit 24-hour brow laminator, but that's just a little more my style. I do have also this little mini of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. Not my favorite. It doesn't really hold. It's kind of like the Benefit Fluff Up Brow Wax, where it's like, it's fine, but I like to use this to clean up any little like flyaway hairs on my slick bun days. So I have found a use for this. A product that I am almost finished with is this Glossier Boy Brow, and this is Used and Abused, and I use the shade Brown. And yeah, I'm almost out of it. I like this more than the other products that I had mentioned by a long shot, and I'm even considering getting the clear one of this, but yeah, this is almost used up, and anyway, yeah, I'm keeping it because I want to use it completely. I have this random little Bobbi Brown vitamin enriched eye base. I really love this product. It was in my April favorites, I believe, and it's a very lovely eye cream, and I highly recommend it if you do suffer from dry eyes. And God, that plane is so loud. Definitely keeping my NYX brow glue. I'm actually, you can't tell from how this is, but maybe you can see it on the back. I am actually almost finished with this and could probably use a new one here pretty soon, but this is my favorite brow product. I use this so much. I think it's an inexpensive alternative to a lot of these higher end clear brow gels. And if you like a laminated and don't mind like a sticky kind of feel to things, I think that this is an amazing alternative to higher end brow products. Okay, here's my highlight drawer. So I'm just gonna go through these kind of like quickly, like one by one. I haven't been using highlight all that much lately because it's been so hot. First thing, Westman Atelier in the shade Nectar. Yeah, this is one of my favorite highlights of all time. Definitely not getting rid of this. I use it quite often when I want that kind of glass skin, beautiful, like my skin but better kind of look. Another thing that is also my favorite is my Chanel Baume Essentiel in the shade Rouge Frais. This is part of their 2023 Spring Summer collection. As you can see, this is a very like reddish pink kind of color, and this kind of acts as a blush as well. So when I want to have a very like glossy blushed look, I put this on top of a cream blush, and it gives me that glass-like blushy, very summery bronzed kind of look. And I am very interested in getting another one of these that are more suited for like just highlighting and not blush look. But I keep this with my highlights because it's essentially a highlighter. Another thing that I am definitely not getting rid of is my Nudestix Bubbly Bebe. This is their very glass-like highlighter. This one is much more sticky than the Chanel Baume Essentiel and the Westman Atelier lit up stick in Nectar. This is much like tackier, but I do find that it does stay on the skin all day and it does look really lovely. This one's a little more persnickety than them. It can pick up other product if you apply it directly to the face or with your fingers. Like, I do find that saturating a brush in this product and then lightly tapping it on your cheeks is the best way to apply it. So once I figured that out, I actually started to really love this product because it was on the chopping block a few times, but I'm really happy I gave it a chance when I did. And yeah, I love this and I am keeping it. Another highlight that I use a lot more in the everyday than I do on my channel is Highlight by Rose Inc. In the shade Prismatic. It's a very easy everyday. It's a very like soft kind of champagne-y gold, and it's very lovely. Like, it's one of those things that under studio lights, it doesn't really do it justice. You have to get it into natural light to really see how lovely this product is. I think Hannah Louise Posen talked about it once where she was really underwhelmed by it, but then she caught her reflection in a mirror where it was just sunlight, and she absolutely fell in love with this, and I happen to agree. Like the first time I used this, I was under like artificial light, and I was really underwhelmed, and I was like, wow, that was really expensive, and I just I don't really get the hype. But now that I know what it looks like when it's just like natural light hitting my face with this on it, it's absolutely stunning. It's so natural. It just looks like your skin looks healthy. Yes. So I'm definitely keeping it. So this isn't a highlight, but I have it with my highlights because it is so emollient and just kind of like not there on the skin. Some people love these Merit blushes so much, and I just don't get it. Like, I like to use this to touch up my makeup with because it's nice and emollient, and I'm in love with the color. I have the shade Terracotta, and you know, it's a very beautiful, like blushy, bronzy terracotta shade, but the staying power of this is non-existent. But what does stay is the dewiness and the emollients that is in this formula. So it does make your skin look really, really nice, but the color is gone off of my skin in like 15 minutes. So I don't deem it a blush. I deem it as like a highlighter-esque kind of touch-up product. So that's one of the reasons I haven't decluttered it yet, is that I found a place for it in my collection. But if that place for it didn't exist, this would have been bye-bye a long time ago, because I just don't get the hype with this product at all. Another product that is well loved is my Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand. I have this in the shade Spotlight, and it's that beautiful like champagne-y kind of gold with the abhorrent applicator. I actually haven't used this for a while, so I might try and start using it a little bit more. But yeah, it's a beautiful product. It's very beaming. And my favorite way to use this is to apply it to the back of my hand and then use a damp sponge to apply it to my face, because I feel like it knocks it back just ever so slightly and helps the metallicness of this product melt into the skin in a much more natural way than if I used my fingers or a brush. But that's just my preference for it. And so I think a lot of the reason that I don't reach for this all so often is because of how intense it is. And I am more into a glassy kind of look, but it doesn't make me like this one any less. It's just not my preference right now. But if I do want something beaming, this is the product that I reach for. Okay, so this one I've been trying to make an effort to use a little bit more. This used to be my absolute favorite liquid highlighter. This is the highlighter by Refi Beauty, and I don't remember the name or what anything on this is called, because they literally, I think I said once they did the most by doing the least, because there's no name, there's no anything, like what? Like it's so minimal that it's like a little irritating and just kind of not creative on their part. This is a very sticky, ooey gooey, glass skin kind of highlighter. It's a really beautiful product, but I do find in the summer months it can be a little irritating with how sticky it is. But in the winter time, I really love to use this because it is super moisturizing and it makes my skin look alive. So yeah, I think I'm keeping all of these, but I just want to like touch base with what I have right now. I got this not that long ago from Ritual Defeat. This is the Rare Light Cream Illuminator in the shade Phosphine. I think this is their best-selling highlight. It's a really beautiful pink. I thought it was going to be a little more like the shade Opal by Becca, and it's a lot cooler than that, so silly me. But I mean, this is fine. I thought I was gonna like it a lot more because people who like very similar things to me like a beautiful highlight, but sometimes, just sometimes in certain light, like it does pull a little icy on me. And I don't know if it's like my lack of pink and I have more like yellow and green. But anyways, I don't dislike it, but I thought I would like it more. And I do want to give it a little bit more love. But anyways, keeping this because it's very new and I don't hate it, so I need to use it, you know. And also, it has this like lavender-esque smell, and I really enjoy that, but that's also something to keep in mind if you are looking at that specific formula. Onto the powders. So this is the Hourglass Incandescent Strobe Light. Oh wait, no. This is the Hourglass Ambient Strobe Lighting Powder, and the color is Incandescent Strobe Light. Jesus God. Okay. This is what it looks like. This reminds me a lot of MAC's Emphasize powder. If you remember that from back in the day, it was like a setting powder. Like when I go like this, you can't even like see it on my hand. It's the most like subtle like thing, but it's really lovely. And when I have a certain makeup look in mind, this does come in handy. So it's not a total waste, but I thought it was going to be different. Like I thought, and I'm so happy I got the mini of this, because like when it comes to powder products, if I have the option, I really do like to have the like smaller amount, because they take up less room, and also like sometimes like what would happen if I just didn't like this, you know? An Hourglass is not cheap. The current oldest powder highlight in my collection is the NARS Fort de France. And, you know, I think this is like super blinding. Some people think it's a lot more natural than what it is, but on me, like, the tanner I get, the less I'm able to use this. But it's still really beautiful. And when I apply it with a kind of like more loose brush and kind of sweep it on the cheek more than like pinpoint, I do find that it gives a very beautiful effect. So yeah, I think I'm just keeping all of my highlighters, but if there were any that I was going to get rid of, it would probably be Fort de France by NARS, and possibly the Merit blush. Well, it's technically a blush, but like the Merit Terracotta, because I barely use this and I don't find myself in the situations enough to like touch up, you know, and that's been my reasoning for keeping this. But at this point, I feel like it's just taking up room in my collection, and I could give it to somebody who might really enjoy this a lot more than me, but I'm gonna keep it for now. And lastly, I have my favorite powder highlighter, which is the Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Powder. And I think this is such a beautiful highlighter. It's gigantic, as you can see, and it's just such a lovely, like, can you see it? Like on my right here, it's so natural, it's so lovely. Like maybe if I put it on the back of my hand here, it kind of has like a pink undertone in a way, and you can see like it's just so lovely. It's so much more like finely milled. And this is what I was kind of expecting the Hourglass ambient like strobing highlight to be, but even like nicer almost, because Hourglass powders are just like, there's no comparison to them. But honestly, like Laura Mercier takes the cake on this one. Like this is like, and if you're into a really subtle highlight that's natural and kind of incandescent, but you don't like the look or the feel of a cream or a liquid highlighter, and you prefer a powder, or if you have more mature skin, definitely take a look at this. Like this is absolutely stunning. Okay, bronzers. So I'm gonna start with the Hourglass. I have this in the little mini, and this is the Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light. I love this bronzer. I used this so much when I was traveling. I think it's such an amazing product, and it gives like this kind, it's like a pretty light bronzer, but it does give a beautiful like kind of pinky sheen to the skin. It's very, very lovely. Definitely keeping that. Next bronzer that, I mean, heads up, I'm keeping all of my bronzers because I don't really have like an abundance and or anything that I'm really neglecting. It just kind of depends on like what kind of mood I'm in. But this is the Nude Sticks Bondi Bay. This is, I would say out of all of them, this is probably like my least favorite. And it has nothing to do with the formula, but a little bit more to do with the color. The color is a little yellow for me, but I still use it. I still think it's really beautiful. And I've actually used a lot of it because I traveled with it. Actually, there's still like quite a bit left, but yeah, yeah, it's more so the color than it is anything to do with the formula. I think the formula is really beautiful, but it's just a little too yellow, but I'm gonna keep it around for a little bit longer, and if something else kind of pops up that like I love exponentially more, I'll get rid of this and make room for the next one. Next is one of my favorite contour products that I've ever used, and this is the Westman Atelier Sculpting Stick in the shade Biscuit. This is this beautiful neutral toned contour color, and it's just warm enough and just cool enough that it bronzes and contours your face, and this just blends itself out, and the packaging is obviously super luxe, super beautiful. I love this so much. It's just an amazing product, and of course I am keeping it. On the creams, this is my beloved NARS Laguna, and I have this in the shade Laguna 1. I think this is an amazing natural like kiss of bronze to the skin, and the only thing I dislike about it is the smell, but fortunately it does dissipate, and I have quite the dent in it. It is such a lovely product. It just melts into the skin. Love, 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 love this product. Honestly, like if I didn't have the Say, I would probably pick up a darker shade of the NARS Laguna, because that's how much I love it. But since I do own the Say, this is in the shade medium, and I am using this quite a bit. I do love this in the summertime. It's very dewy, it's buildable, but sheer enough that I can wear it when I'm super pale. This is just such an amazing color for me, and it's an amazing formula, and I always love the way my makeup looks when I wear it. But yeah, I think I love the NARS Laguna cream formula a little bit more. So when I'm finished with this, I will probably pick up a shade that's more suited for me in the summer months, in the NARS Laguna color. But the Say is an amazing product as well, don't get me wrong. Moving on to this beautiful, beautiful thing. This is the Gucci bronzer. I have this in, oh, what shade do I have? I have it in the shade 2, and I love, 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 love this bronzer. And does it have a lot of it to do with the compact? Probably, but is the product a velvety dream that just makes you look amazing when you wear it? Yes. So yeah, it's just like, both worlds are great, and I love the way this looks. I'm thinking about like a different setup for how I display things, but if I had a different setup, like this is like A+ Vanity quality makeup. Like look at that, it's so gorgeous. It looks like an heirloom or like a music box. It's so beautiful. Last one is my favorite powder bronzer of all time, and this is the Victoria Beckham Beauty. I have this in the shade 2, and the compact is just so luxe. The formula is so like light and buildable, and it's so natural and beautiful, and it just sits on the skin in such a beautiful way. I love it so, so much. I actually haven't been using it lately because I have been giving a lot of love to the Say bronzer and the Gucci powder bronzer, but its spot has yet to be filled with its rank on my favorites. But yeah, just look how beautiful that is. It's so gorgeous. This lighting makes it look a lot more cool tone than what it is, but this is the shade 2. So the next thing I want to talk about is this Victoria Beckham Beauty Smoky Eye Brick in the shade Signature. I love this palette. I think these shadows are really, really beautiful. This is a nice kind of like neutrally cool tone, so if you are missing like an everyday palette in your collection, I do recommend this. Like this will give you all of your matte shades for a kind of smoky, cool toned, neutral-esque look. And the packaging is very luxe and very beautiful. I highly recommend. I have this new palette in my collection. This is actually in the old formula, so they just reformulated the eye quints and the blushes, because I guess Dior is now going to become a clean beauty brand, and so they're getting rid of like anything that has like talc and certain types of preservatives in it, and there are a bunch of comparison videos of soft cashmere in the old formula and soft cashmere in the new formula, and the new formula doesn't seem as pigmented or as like lustrous, but this is in the old formula, and look how beautiful. Oh my god, it's like a cool tone wet eye lover's dream. Like, oh man, she's so beautiful. She's one of my new favorite products in my collection, and I'm so happy I picked this up during the Sephora sale. But it is a shame that I'll never get that formula again, so that is something to keep in mind. The next product is something that I start to pick up a little bit more during the warmer months, and this is the Tom Ford Eye Color Quad Cream in the shade Tiger Eye, and this is a very beautiful kind of like peachy, shiny looking palette, and this brown is, I think, the best brown, like warm tone brown I've ever used. So this is a powder formula, but it performs like a cream, so don't let that confuse you. If you are interested in the cream quads by Tom Ford, it is actually a powder formula, but they're very emollient, very pigmented, and so they do perform like a cream. This next palette I barely use, and it's not like I don't like it, it's just like something that I just forget about, because I just forget about face palettes. And so this is the Nudegasm by Charlotte Tilbury. I really like the highlight, I really like the blush, I really enjoy these bronzing contour shades on my skin tone, but unfortunately, like, I think this was limited edition. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But it's very lovely, but I don't ever think about it and I don't ever use it. So I think I'm going to put this into my kit, or just like put it away and then revisit it later, because it's just taking up a lot of room. Like, it's not small. Like, it's not a small thing at all. And so I think I'm going to just like put it away and revisit it at another time. And yeah. That's all I really have to say. It's not a bad product, it's just, I don't know, I just don't reach for it. Last product in this section is one of my new favorite palettes. This is the Eye and Cheek palette in the Chanel Spring collection for 2023, and this is in the shade Tendresse. This is the lighter of the two that came out, and it's very stunning. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I even enjoy the like peachy highlight shade, and it's very subtle, very nice. These shades are just so dreamy on the eyes and the cheeks. They're very buildable and soft, and I just love this, and I'm so happy that I picked it up when I was in Ireland. Okay, so some time has passed. I'm gonna go through this section back here, which is all of my lip liners, because I have a plan. I'm gonna put them inside this makeup bag here so I can make room for my powder blushes in this section. So I'm basically gonna put all of my concealers back here. That's technically not even, these aren't lip liners, so I guess I'll just like talk about these first. So these are the Bobbi Brown cream shadow sticks, and one I am keeping and one I am getting rid of. So the one that I'm keeping, one that I really like is the Smoky Topaz shade. And it's this beautiful, cool toned kind of, it's this beautiful kind of like cool toned taupey. Look at that, it's so beautiful. And then it blends out just as easily. I'm totally keeping this. I'm actually gonna put it into that bag over there. But the one I am not keeping is called Violet Plum. I really like the color of this. Like, it's a really beautiful color, but the way it blends out is so patchy. like I dislike this a lot, actually. Like I've tried to get this to work in so many different ways, and I've never talked about these on my channel. I don't know why, I just haven't really like reached for them for looks that I want to make for you guys. But this one, it's just, I've tried so many ways, and look how beautiful that color is. But as soon as you start like blending it out, it just kind of balls up on itself and it gets like really patchy, and it's just not good. Like not good to the point that I don't even want to gift it to anyone. I think I'm just gonna throw it away. And as you can tell, I have a type when it comes to lip liners. So I have my warm neutrals and then my cool neutrals slash kind of like sculpty shades. So I have MAC Strip Down, I have MAC Oak, so there's a warm and a cool. I have the Sephora Gel lip liners, and I have that in Nothing But Nude, which is a warm, and then Nudist, yeah, the Nudist, which is, I wouldn't even say that this is a neutral, this is just like a sculpting cool shade. So I have those. And then I have Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude, and that's the lip cheat. And that's basically a dupe for the NYX lip liner in Natural. They're basically the same formula, the same shade. Then I have one of my other favorite lip liner is the NYX lip liner and lip liner pencil in the shade Nude Beige. This is the definition of a like neutral kind of cool, where I think somebody asked me in the comments one time, and I'll just do some swatches. So this is Nude Beige, as you see here. And then they asked me about the Sephora, the Nudist. And I just want to show the difference in tones here. See how much cooler that is? Like that's a true sculpting shade where it almost makes Nude Beige look warm, but Nude Beige is much more neutral. And then lastly, in the lip liners, I have the shade Nutmeg, where it's kind of this like reddish brown. And I love this in the summertime when I'm a little bit tanner, and I think that this makes an all over like beautiful color on the lips, and I just love it so much. But yeah, that is Nutmeg. All of these are going into the bag. Also, while I was at it, I definitely thought that it would be a good place to stick my powders, which I only have 2 in my collection because I'm not much of a powder girly. And so I'm going to be sticking my loose powder, and this is my favorite loose powder that I've ever used. This is the Ilia translucent powder shaded, called Shade Into You. Or Fade Into You. Yeah, Fade Into You. So that's going to go in the bag. And then I have the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder, and this is in the shade Luminous Light. This is a very beautiful setting powder. Amongst the trash that was up here, there were just like a few like odds and ends kind of floating around. And one of them was my old like mini like NARS Laguna, which you can see there's a significant dent in it, because I liked to use this as a single eyeshadow for years, and that's like long expired, and slash I just don't use it at all, so there's just like no sense in keeping it. Another thing is this old Urban Decay lipstick in 1993. I really love this color, but it's like, it's past its prime. Like it's not worth keeping because I never reach for it, and it's so old that it's in old packaging. And I have a few other shades that I have in this formula that I will also be decluttering as well, but they're in my storage, so I'm just gonna get rid of those off camera. But yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this. It was a great formula, a great product, but I just can't really sense, or I can't make sense of like keeping it. This next one I'm not getting rid of. I'm just it's just so silly that I just keep it out, because I took it out because I was like, oh, it's getting to be warmer, it's summertime. And this is a gift from a friend. And they're like, oh, I've never used this, and I know you like makeup, or like you could use it in your kit, blah, blah, blah. It's a Chanel lipstick, and I literally just keep it around because I love the component. Like I love pressing. Like that's just so satisfying, but like look at the shade. Tell me why I would keep this out. When am I ever wearing this? Like, ever. And then I told myself, oh, you could probably use it as a blush. Just keep it out so you use it. But have I? No. So I'm not going to throw it away, but I'm just going to like put it away where it's not taking up space. But let me know in the comments if you want me to try and make, like, do a little challenge and like make a look involving or like revolving around this lipstick. I mean, look at this. It's like, it just screams Barbie and summertime. Like, it's so pretty. Bobbi Brown crushed lipstick, and I think this is called like dark chocolate. It's really, really pretty. It's buildable, and it's like a very nice brown. And I've been kind of wearing this on and off. I really like this formula. It's really, really elegant. In my Charlotte Tilbury, I have my Kosas Lip Fuel, which I don't reach for as much as I should, but yeah, I still have it around. My Gucci's in here, the Merit's in here. Whoa. Over here I have more of like glosses and like lip balmy-esque things. I have my Rouge Coco Balm in the shade Natural Charm. I love this product. It's grown on me quite a bit since I first bought it. I have the Victoria Beckham in the shade Girl. I have this Rowan, what is this called? Tinted Lip Oil Balm. And I think that after this summer, I will declutter this because I think it's kind of going off, and also it's just like so like, it looks like chewed up almost because it just, it doesn't really have, oh, what's the word? Like the strength to stay solid in any sort of heat. Like, this melts and gets very messy, very gooey. And it also doesn't smell the same. So I think after this summer, I'm going to get rid of this, but it is a really beautiful product. I have a couple shades in the Sephora brand Rouge lip lacquer thing. And these are really, really beautiful. The packaging is pretty chintzy, but the product itself is very luxurious. And my Tower 28 lip jelly, which you can see I am more than halfway finished. I have the Phantom Balm lip balm from Hourglass in here. I also have the Rowan liquid lip balm, and I love this product. I love this product so much. So in this thing here, I do have my NARS Matte Lip Balm, Tinted Lip Balm in here. And my Afterglow Lip Balms. So I have 4 of these puppies. I have this in Bang Bang, Orgasm, Laguna, and Torrid. And they're also like sheer and lovely with just like a hint of color, and they just add exactly what I need for any sort of like natural looking lip, or a lip that I just don't need to think about. This next product is the Dior Lip Glow, and I have this in the shade Mahogany. I've been trying to use this more because these are so expensive and I just don't want it to sit around, and I have noticed that I do love this with my cool toned Sephora lip liner, and it creates a really beautiful look with the two of them together. And so I have been using this a lot more, and I'm super happy about that. And then this one is the newest one in my collection, and this is the Clarins Lip Oil in the shade Honey. I'm obsessed with this. Look how fucking pretty. Ooh, it actually looks kind of like remnants of like lip liner on there, but you know what? I'm the only person using it, so it's fine. It's just so good. Even when I open it, it just smells like candy. It just slides in right there. Through my concealers, because I'm going to move them back here. So I first have this product that doesn't exist anymore, but I do like it for like spot concealing and whatnot. This is the Nude Sticks like concealer pencil. I'm not going to go into it too much because it's not like you can buy it, but I do want to use it up. Next is my Givenchy Prism Libre color corrector in the green color corrector. I love this stuff. It's so, so good. Kosas Revealer Concealer. I'm not gonna rant and rave about this because you already know that I love it because I talk about it so much. There is that. I have my Dior Forever Skin Correct. I love this. It's super high coverage, but unfortunately I think that my skin is a little too, this particular color is just too light for me now. I am kind of tossing around the idea of picking up a deeper shade, because even when I'm really pale, this is still like a brightening color on me. So yeah, I really, really love this product. It's super pigmented. And then my last concealer is my LYS Triple Fix. And this is a very thin serum-y concealer, but you can get medium to full coverage with this. It's pretty amazing. Is it my favorite? No. Is it usable? Yes. Will I use it up? Also yes. So yes, I'm keeping it. Okay, so don't be me and have this many mascaras open at the same time. It's just like wasteful and dumb, and just like don't do it. It just happened. It just happened. But I'm just going to go through and talk about what I have here and my opinions on them. So the Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions Mascara. I mean, it's fine. It's not my favorite tubing formula I've ever used, but I will use it up. The next is the Victoria Beckham Future Lash, which is one of my favorite mascaras I've ever used. It's about to die. This is like my millionth tube. And yeah, I just love this mascara so much. So I'm gonna keep this until it's like officially expired or like I use it up. My Merit mascara, ooh, the Clean Lash. This is currently, I think, my favorite mascara right now. It's not a like true tubing formula, but it is an easily removable one. So I really, really like it, and it gives me a lot of length and volume, and the shelf life is really amazing. So yeah, I'm keeping that one. The Hourglass Caution Mascara. Now this is, I think, expired. I think the last time I used it, my lashes seemed kind of clumpy, and there's like I'm not really into the smell of it right now. Like, it kind of smells off. So I am going to throw this out, but it is a really good mascara. I actually prefer, even though it's not an easy removal or a tubing, I actually do prefer it to the other Hourglass one that I have, which is like kind of crazy. The next one is the Glossier. I'm keeping because it's not expired / even close to being used up. So I'm going to keep that. And then I'm keeping the Tower 28 because I'm almost finished with it. And the shelf life on this is just like non-existent. So I think I'm going to like switch my focus onto it and try and use it up before it completely expires, because it's like you get maybe 2.5 months of use out of these and then it's kaput. You know, I also forgot that I had this little mini open. I bought this with my Sephora points. This is the Dior Show mascara, and look at this wand. It's so funny. I really enjoy this. It seems like it's an easy removal formula, and I really like how my lashes look with it. So I'm gonna, use this up. So this is also open in my collection. Oh my god. This next section is really difficult for me because you're about to see. So the first thing that I have over here, so these are like my glowy kind of like primer / like highlighter kind of things. The first thing is the Auric Glow Lust. I love this. This isn't even like remotely like, there's no dent in this at all. It's so, so lovely. And I've been using it a lot more lately now that we're into the summer. So yeah, keeping that. The next thing, now I'm not going to get rid of this. So this is my favorite liquid highlighter ever to exist. And unfortunately the brand Becca no longer exists. Smashbox did take some of their makeup, and they kind of like sell it under this like Smashbox name, but they did not get the Becca liquid skin enhancer, and the shade Opal is my favorite thing. This has long been expired. I no longer use this on my face. I just use this as like a shade reference, and I have yet to find anything, so I literally just have it to compare to things. So I'll compare it to like when I got my Ritual Defee cream highlighter. I thought that it was going to be, you know, comparable to this, but it was not. It was a totally different color. So I'm just going to put this one away, and the next time I buy something and I think that it might resemble Becca Opal, I'll have this to reference, but I'm just gonna like get rid of it so it's just like not out and like, you know, testing me because like I see it and I just want to use it because I loved it so much. This next product, I think I'm gonna declutter this. And can you believe it? But it's the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I have had this for years, like for a very, very long time. Like there's barely anything coming out on the doe foot anymore because, and I can't say that it smells any different, but like as you can see, like in the bottle, like there's like a lot of like pigment sitting strangely that used to not happen. And it's time. It really is time. I have heard from a lot of people that these are really hard to use up, and I think I really did my best. Like I can see windowing like really far down, and anything that's sitting at the bottom like almost doesn't seem like it has access to the doe foot, so I have no idea how to get to it. So I'm saying goodbye. I'm gonna say goodbye to this because I do have these little minis, and you see I have shade 3 and I have shade 2, which is like I can wear shade 2 like all year round, like whether it's like a base for my makeup and or a highlighter. So I have these 2 minis, so I'm not without it. So I feel okay decluttering the big one, which is in the shade 2. And if I do really feel like there is a gap, I'll just use these up and then I'll just buy another big one. But yeah, I have these 2 little guys and my Auric, and that's all I'm going to put back here. Okay, so we're gonna go into blushes now, so like hold your breath. So I'm gonna start with things that I automatically know that they're gonna stay in this drawer. So my 2 Rose Inc cream blushes, they are just dreamy. I have Foxglove and Daylily. Just perfect. I love them so much. They're some of my favorite blushes ever. I have my Nude Stick blushes, which are kind of viral right now. I have Sunkissed, which is one of my favorite blushes of all time. I have In the Nude, which is a really nice, like neutral, nudie peach. It's very nice. It's very natural. And then I have the Dewy formula, which is Tiger Lily Queen, which is this bright, dewy coral. I have my Victoria Beckham Cheeky Posh blush. Am I in focus? My Cheeky Posh blush in the shade Playground, which is also one of my favorite blushes of all time. Okay, so now we're into the I don't know kind of category with creams. So let's talk about the Cloud Paint for a second. So Cloud Paint, I've had this product for longer than I care to admit. I almost never reach for it. It's a beautiful color, but it kind of has like a paint smell to it now. And I have this in the shade Dusk. It's a really beautiful, beautiful color. But I am going to say goodbye to this because I'm not reaching for it enough. And I just, you know, I feel like I just need to purge. I need to get rid of some things. So there is that. Another cream blush I have is the Rowan Cream. What is it called? I don't know. It's just like the Rowan Cream blush, and this is in the shade Natural Rose. This is one of my favorite blushes to wear in the wintertime. It's a beautiful, cool toned rose, but also neutral enough that I can pair it with a variety of different looks and or wear it in the summer. It's a really beautiful formula. Okay, now into powders. So Dior also reformulated their blushes, and I haven't heard anything about how the new blush formula without the talc performs, but this is in the old formula, and if you've watched a few videos of mine, you know that I have fallen deeply in love with this powder blush, so that is obviously staying. Next one I actually haven't been using all that much, but I feel like once it starts to really get into summer, my little affair with this is going to pop off again. This is the Bare Minerals Bronzer, and this is in the shade Kiss of Rose. This is a super kind of like foiled baked, very pigmented blush. Like it's, I almost like see it as like an eyeshadow. Like look at that. But it does like blend out very beautifully. It's like the ultimate bronzer. Like this is the definition of bronzer. It's really beautiful. I'm obviously keeping it. One of my favorite powder blushes ever. And this is the Laura Mercier Fresco. Look at that. Oh, she's so pretty. She's like this neutral beigey shimmery blush, but the shimmers are really refined on your face. Like it looks really glittery in the pan, but when it's on the face, it's very kind of ethereal looking, very glowy without looking too like metallic-y or anything like that, because I'm not really into that much of a metallic blush, but I do, or like a shimmer blush, but I do like a glowy blush, and this is phenomenal. This next blush is by Tom Ford. This is a shade in Illuminate in Peach Poison, which, I mean, I feel like kind of silly that I even bought this because I don't really like peach blushes that much, but there was something about this color story that like really grabbed me, and considering that this is like a $95 blush, like I feel like it has to do a little bit more than grab me, but I really love this blush. It performs the way I want luxury makeup to perform, which is like velvety and blendy and just all of these words that I'm just saying. It's very lovely. This next one is by Hourglass. This is another one of my most favorite, most used powder blushes ever, and this is the Ambient Strobe Lighting Blush in the shade Brilliant Nude, and this is another like kind of pinky beige neutral, very glowy, like incredibly glowy. I love this blush so much, and of course I end up keeping it, basically keeping all of them except for the Glossier, because this one I love as well, and I haven't been really picking it up because I don't know, I've just been like really into my cream blushes lately. But this is the Cheek to Chic blush by Charlotte Tilbury in the shade, what is it, the Climax, and it's a really beautiful like brownie pinky nude, and yeah, it's very pigmented, very lovely. It has just a slight hint of glow to it. It's just a very phenomenal shade. Okay, last section. So on top here I have, I don't even know what, so here's a Glossier. And that almost looks chunky in there. I've had this for a really long time. This is the Glossier Stretch Concealer. There's not really a scent to it, but I mean, if you can see, like, that's a really huge dent. I don't know. Like, it just... Why do I feel like I shouldn't be rid of this? I don't know. I feel as though I don't want this anymore. Like I don't ever reach for it. And it is really old and it is just taking up space, and I have so many concealers that I just like use and love, so goodbye. I have this NARS Soft Matte Concealer right here, and as you can tell, I do use it, and I do love this product so much that I do have a summertime shade, and so I'm right on the verge of getting into my summertime shade. But yeah, I've been digging into this a lot more now that we are in the warmer months, so I am keeping that. Hourglass Scattered Light in the shade Smoke. I love this. I love it so much. It's such a good pressed glitter pigment-esque. It's very ethereal. So I'm just gonna like reorganize it so it like all fits nicely in here and just like show you. Ooh, I know what I'll do. Okay, so first, so this is the Hollywood Flawless Eye Filter palette, and I don't really reach for this as much as I should, but it is really beautiful. They're all shimmers, and you can make a very like bronzy, glowy eye look with this. I think this would be a perfect like wedding day palette. So I'm gonna put this actually over here with my other palettes so I can make more room in this drawer. I don't want to declutter it because it's a really good product and I do use it every now and then. Something I think I will actually give to someone is the Ulta Beauty Bouncy Eyeshadow, and this is in the shade Italian Ice. There's nothing wrong with this, but it's basically kind of a not as intense dupe for the Urban Decay Space Cowboy. It's like the less pretty version of that. And so since Space Cowboy and Charlotte Tilbury Exaggerize in the Eyes to Mesmerize formula are basically the cream and powder formulas of each other and go together perfectly, I feel like I can gift this to someone and not feel bad about it, because it is a good product. It's just I don't reach for it because I have like better versions of it, but this is like $8 or something. So if you're looking for those and they're not within your price range, then I would say get this. Product that's like newer in my single eyeshadow collection is the Ritual de Fille, oh, what are you called? The Crystalline Matter Eye Soot, and this is in the shade Fire Opal. It has like a lot of colors to it. Like it's like zoom in and try and get all of these colors here. Like there's like green, magenta, silver, pink, some gold. Like it's really, really complex and it's really, really fun. And I've been really enjoying it, like especially when it was like super springy kind of like makeup looks. This is very wet, very ethereal, and just like enough of like kind of like funkiness to kind of edge up a look. You're in here. Meteor Beige Mitza, which is a favorite. I got my Disco Eye by Rowan, and then its companion Summer Disco, the perfect pair together if you like a warm kind of gilded glittery look. Like these are perfect. I have not all of the Rowan quads, but I have 3 Rowan quads in here. I have the Mood Forever, which is one of my favorite quads of all time. 75 Degree, which is becoming a fast favorite, and then the 52 Degree, which is very used and abused. I love all of these equally, like they're so good. This one's pretty new. This is the Bobbi Brown, what are you, the Luxe eyeshadow foil, and this is in Gilded Rose. This is a beautiful rose topper, and yeah, it's very, like the formula of this is really unique. It's very thin, but it's super pigmented, and it's just such a lovely rose color. And it catches the light in a very elegant way. It's super luxe. The packaging is luxe. It's really great. I still have some discontinued things in here, like my Tom Ford cream and powder duos, like Golden Peach is one of my favorite eyeshadow duos ever. Like, you just like look at that, like how gorgeous. And I don't touch Naked Bronze as much, but it's still like way too beautiful to get rid of and not talk about anymore. Like these are fan favorites, and I can't be without them yet. Like I love them so much. What else do I have in here? I have the Victoria Beckham lid lusters. I have Mink and I have Chiffon. And we're just gonna swatch Mink just because I just love to swatch Mink. It's like one of my favorite things to swatch because it's just so complicated and just amazing. Like it's such an elegant formula. And that's just like pure, like thick swatch right there. And then when you blend it out, you can see the complexity of the shade and how like warm the base layer of it is, and it has like greens and silvers and purples in there too, and some silver too. But you can just like blend this for days. Like look how gorgeous that is. Oh, I love Mink. You all know how much I love Space Cowboy. It's like I talk about it time and time again that it's my favorite one and done and just like eyeshadow ever. I have 2 colors in the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. I have Exaggerize, which is basically the cream version of Space Cowboy, and then I have Oyster Pearl, which is this very lovely kind of antique looking taupe, and it's very, very stunning. Like I love both of those equally. So obviously keeping them, putting an hourglass in here, and then I have my beloved discontinued Natasha Denona Chroma Crystal top coat in the shade Peach. Look how beautiful that is. This is also something I'm keeping around and using because I do want to dupe it and figure out what I can recommend and or replace this with once it does go bad, and or if I somehow by a miracle use this up. But oh, I'm just gonna swatch it because it's just so pretty. Look at that. It's so wet looking and so like, the only thing I could think of the way to describe it is just like divine. Like it's like such a divine piece of makeup. And the packaging is glass and really beautiful in looks, and I just love it so much. And that actually freed up some room in here, and that looks so much nicer. Oh my god. That looks so much better. That's it. That's all. That's all I have to say, really. My current everyday collection and what I reach for the most, and I think it looks pretty nice now. I was able to like clean it and just make it look sanitary, if you will. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will not be linking all of these products down below. I'm sorry, you can throw a fit. Do you, boo. Because it would take me all day. You can find most of these products on either Sephora, Ulta, Credo, or Violet Grey. Go crazy. All right, see you in the next one. Bye!